Hi guys, it's Panahop here again. I'm back, and this time I'm going to be discussing something I've not discussed on the channel before, or a TV show I've not discussed on the channel before, but I feel compelled to because I've just finished watching its third season yesterday. So, I'm a big fan of Interview with the Vampire. I've not read the novels, but I'm a huge fan of the 1994 film and especially of the AMC TV series, which has 3 seasons so far. So the first 2 seasons are just they're not a straight covering of the events of the novel. They change a lot, but I think they change it in a good way. So what they change from Into the Vampire is obviously the main because the main actor playing Louis is Jacob Anderson. They move it forward a bit, and they make him a pimp rather than a slave owner. But either way, those first 2 seasons of Into the Vampire are great. They cover a lot of the emotional ground, and they put in a few twists and turns in with the story that you might be familiar with the novel to keep it interesting. And because of that, I was really excited for the third season, which has been in production for a while, because they were doing the Vampire Lestat and the Queen of the Damned storyline, where Lestat emerges from hiding and becomes a rock star, and that and to their credit, they've done some incredible music for it that I really enjoy listening to. But that the time taken to create that music meant that there's been a delay in this series coming out, and I was really excited because of that delay. I'm kind of slightly disappointed to report that I didn't enjoy this series as much as I thought I would. This season, although it is true to the novel, uh, for me, okay, so I've already said that the music is great, and it is. I love Loneliness. That's one of the better songs. Stained Glass Eyes is good. The show makes fun of Longface. I quite like Longface. It's a good song. Um, but the problem I was having was mainly that it felt much darker than the previous 2 seasons. So the first 2 seasons of Interview with the Vampire just cover as I said, just cover the story of the novel Interview with the Vampire. They make their changes, they're interesting, but tonally, they're more melancholic because Louis' story, even though he's an unreliable narrator, and even though Lestat goes on to contradict him in his own version of the story, which is all canon, it's appropriately, the show is appropriately melancholic about it, about the way Louis feels about these events, even if Claudia and Lestat would disagree on how things went down. This is also tonally appropriate to Lestat, but this, for me, feels like a step too far. It's a bit like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. It's something that is appropriate, is canon, but still feels mean. A lot of the stuff in this third season of Interview, this Vampire Lestat season, feels harsh and mean and violent, especially where Armand is concerned. So they because they can't have a casher in this season, they're building up to that. It ends on a cliffhanger. They're going to do Queen of the Damned as season 4. In order to create more of a through line between the events of Daniel's interview with Louis for Interview the Vampire and this season, they've decided they want Armand to be more of a villain, and that's fine. That I like Armand, and I like this version of Armand, and I like him in this role. That's fine. But what it means is they've had to escalate considerably the way Armand is behaving, what he's doing to people, in a way that I just found bordering on grim. And it was much, much more difficult to watch this season than the previous 2 seasons. So that's how I feel, really. I feel like we've got an excellent show that I would highly recommend you watch. If you're in the UK and it's on the iPlayer, go and watch all 3 seasons. Go and binge them. Give the people who look at the statistics for the iPlayer, give them an acknowledgement that you want to watch this show, but just be warned that this third season, this Vampire Lestat season, has great music and great atmosphere, but boy, oh boy, is it grim. It was almost too much for me. I will look forward to the Queen of the Damned season when it comes out. But yeah, this was almost too much. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.